You usually think of a broken promise as, I don't know, this dramatic, cinematic betrayal, like a villain twisting their mustache. But in reality, most broken promises are just, well, an accidental double booking on your calendar.
Oh, totally. It's the "I'll text you right back" that
Yeah.
never actually happens.
Yes, exactly. So today we're taking a deep dive into day 22 of a spiritual guide that really forces us to confront the heavy weight of those mundane, everyday promises.
Right. And it's grounded in this foundational scripture, Matthew 5.37, which basically instructs followers of Christ to let their yes simply be yes and their no simply be no.
Which sounds so straightforward on paper,
I mean, on paper, sure.
but applying it is where the water gets really muddy. Because when you look at why we fail to keep our word, it almost never comes from some malicious desire to deceive someone.
No, not at all. It usually stems from, a desire to be helpful or, and this is probably more accurate, the desire to avoid the immediate social friction of just saying no.
It's so awkward to say no.
Right. From a psychological standpoint, our brains are just wired to prioritize short-term social harmony over our long-term logical scheduling. We hand out a yes because it feels good in that exact moment.
Completely ignoring the future reality of having to actually execute the task.
Exactly.
I always view it as time debt. Like you can max out a credit card by just tapping it for a coffee here, a lunch there. We do the exact same thing with our schedule.
Well, that's a really good way to put it.
We just hand out these casual yeses until we are completely bankrupt on time. So, if overpromising is our neurological default, isn't saying a difficult no up front actually, like a profound act of kindness?
It is a kindness,
Yeah.
but it feels awful in the moment, which is why we rarely do it. But a clear no respects the other person's time and your own limits, really.
Right.
Thinking before you commit is how you protect the yeses that actually matter.
But even if you mastered the art of that upfront no, you're still left with the yeses you actually committed to. And paying off that time, debt isn't free.
Definitely not free. Honoring a promise always demands some sacrifice. Your time, your convenience, maybe your comfort.
Yeah, there's always a cost.
But that daily grinding integrity, not just occasional bursts of faithfulness, is what builds the foundation of strong relationships, whether that's marriages, friendships, or one's relationship with God.
Consistency is hard work.
It's so hard. But it's also why reliability is framed here as one of the greatest gifts you can offer another person.
In our modern culture of flaking and ghosting, that trait just feels exceptionally rare.
Oh, absolutely.
If reliability is literally just doing what you said you'd do, why is it such a highly valued currency?
Well, think about what consistency does to the human brain. When you follow through on your word, you reduce the cognitive load for the people around you.
Huh. Meaning they don't have to overthink it.
Exactly. They don't have to second guess you or worry about backup plans or use all this mental energy trying to predict your behavior. They just feel safe.
Because your track record speaks for itself.
Right. It removes the need for endless explanations.
But here's where I get stuck, honestly. Consistency is a great goal, but it's an impossible standard to maintain perfectly.
For sure.
We are all going to overextend ourselves and drop the ball eventually. Does this guide offer any grace for those, inevitable failures?
It does. And the way out of that guilt is surprisingly simple. You just audit your neglected promises and fix one today.
Just one.
Just one. Don't wallow in the fact that you fell short.
Yeah.
Identify one dropped ball and take a single concrete step to fulfill it.
There's a line in this section I keep thinking about. It says, your words introduce your character, but your actions prove it.
That's a great line.
It is. Yet sometimes circumstances genuinely change. Like a yes that was entirely possible on Monday becomes physically impossible by Friday.
And human nature makes us want to hide when that happens. We go quiet, hoping the other person just forgets.
The classic ghosting move.
Right. But the guidance here is to communicate honestly the exact moment you realize you can't keep a commitment. Respect actually deepens when people know they can trust your honesty, even when you're falling short.
That's proactive honesty right there. It's letting people know you are renegotiating the time debt before the check bounces.
Yes. True integrity isn't about demanding absolute perfection from yourself. It's about transparency when your capabilities shift.
Which is so much more manageable.
It really is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, a trustworthy life is built one kept promise at a time. It's, the compounding interest of showing up.
Which brings us right back to those mundane, accidental, broken promises we started with. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Let's hear it.
If a complete stranger were to audit all the casual yeses you handed out over the past month, what would they conclude about your actual underlying priorities? Thanks for joining us.